Well, most times that we have people on or we discuss something, it's all about building wealth and it's about passive
Yeah.
income. It's about financial freedom. But what's the point of having all this money and getting it if you don't have your health? And I made it a point in 2024 to really
Yeah.
start talking about that more. And I wanted to bring that to you guys. And today I have my actually personal coach, Coach Ashton Hall. So thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks for having me. I'm up like 41 floors, so hopefully it doesn't happen too much in the interview.
Yeah, no worries. So I heard a story one time. This guy was like a 90-year-old billionaire, and he had like these magical powers that he could trade places with somebody. So one day he saw this 20-year-old kid still in college, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to see if he wants to trade places. So he talked to him and said, look, I know you're just starting out. You probably got student loan debt. You don't have any money. Tell you what, I have magical powers. I could trade places with you. You can have all of my wealth. I'm worth like billions of dollars. Got this mansion, cars, everything. I can give it to you. All we have to do is trade places. And the kid thought about it a second. He was like, you know what? There's no way I would do that, even though I'm broke and don't have a job, because what's the point of having all this stuff if you can't enjoy it, if you can't even hardly get out of bed? So that just shows people like how important health is. So tell, for people that don't really know you much, know your story from Instagram. Tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into the weightlifting and coaching.
Well, I like that a lot, first of all. But getting into it, man, I started off with football. My goal was to, make it to the NFL, just like a lot of, younger guys who play their sports, basketball, football, baseball. Long story short, it didn't happen for me. And I got out of the gym for like a year. Kind of got depressed, like I didn't make it, that sad story. And then when I got back into the gym, I got like shredded, like I was just killing it. I had a lot of problems. So I was just going to the gym like twice a day. So I saw what it did for me. So I just started pushing it to the people. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm here today.
So where where did you play? Did you play like high school or college ball?
Yeah, so I played in high school in Jacksonville, Florida, and I ended up going to college at UCF, University of Central Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
what position did you play?
Running back. Yeah, running back. All the coaches wanted me to play linebacker, but I running back was my thing. I like to score. You know what I'm saying? So I'm about
Yeah.
5'10", 200 and like 15 to 210 pounds, even when
Yeah.
I was playing. So I had a perfect size, man. God just had different plans for me.
So back then, do you remember what your best 40 yard dash was?
Yeah, I ran a 4.4. Yeah, I ran a
Wow.
4.4. Actually, my brand right now, I do a lot of running. So I'm known for a lot of running. And somebody asked me yesterday, they're like, yo, how do you maintain? Because I'm more so like a bodybuilder now. Like if you see me today, you're gonna see me as a bodybuilder rather than like an athlete, in my
Right.
opinion. It's not really the look I'm going for, but a lot of people see me as a bodybuilder. So they're like, yo, how do you, keep up with your athleticism? And I tell them, like, bro, what you don't use, you lose. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I've been running since I was 5, and I never stopped. You know what I'm saying? Never had any serious, crazy injuries or anything like that. So yeah, I have a pretty detailed background when it comes to running.
All right. So take me through. So you finished college and you didn't get your dream, the NFL. So kind of walk me through, kind of what happened, maybe the next few years after college.
So the next few years at the college, man, I was transferring from school to school. So I went to Alcorn State initially on scholarship. That's in Mississippi. It's a black college, HBCU. Then I transferred to UCF because I just saw like, I wanted to play D1 football. It was a bigger D1 and, they had Scott Frost. They had like, all the good players go to the D1 school. So I went there. I walked on, my eye test. I passed the eye test. I was really, you know, I was the perfect size when it came to running back, had everything on paper. I just couldn't get my mind right. You know what I'm saying? If I was focused on football, how I'm focused right now in business, it would be like done deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I just know like it just wasn't for my future. It just wasn't meant to be. But anyways, from there, I had to sit the first year out due to like the tap on the wrist. You couldn't just transfer. They didn't have a transfer portal when I was playing. And then from there, the second year, I actually got hurt. So I dropped 400 pounds on my face. Yeah, when I was bench pressing, dropped it on my mouth, had to get surgery and stuff like that. So
Wow.
a lot of people ask me about the pec tear I have. I have a hole in my chest, and that happened when I was 21 at UCF. Then from there, I transferred back. So the next year, I transferred to Alcorn because I was like, yo, I just need to play for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't play the whole year. The coaches barely know me because we switched the whole coaching staff. I was like, yo, I just need to for sure go somewhere and play. And the coaches wanted me to come back. So long story short, I went there. I couldn't play because they didn't take a lot of my classes. Yeah, they didn't take a lot of my credits from UCF, so I was kind of discouraged. Didn't play, and then I ended up just leaving. Like I was like, yo, I'm not gonna just stay out here in Mississippi. Like I'm ready to go and make money and help my mom and just my family and stuff like that. So I ended up going back home. I was just studying about the body a lot for some reason. Something was just telling me like, yo, just like I don't know where I'm supposed to be at right now because I took a year off. I didn't want to have anything to do with anything athletic. I didn't want to think about football. I was just working a lot. And then after a while, I kind of just realized like my boys were telling me, like, yo, Ash, like, you got out of shape. They were kind of clowning me and stuff like that. And I needed that. So I got back into shape. It took me probably about 4 to 6 months when I was just like, I was at an all-time high when it came to, my core was just really like showing and stuff like that. I was everyone's goal. And I kind of started to realize that as I got a lot of questions. So I was like, maybe I'm supposed to be doing something with training. From there, I moved to Orlando, Florida, because I'm from Jacksonville originally. I was staying at home for like 2 months, and I moved to Orlando, Florida. I started working at the local LA Fitness. I was a personal training director. You know what I'm saying? So I got promoted pretty quick in 3 months. I was leading Florida in sales. I was doing really good, and I was doing that for about a month. And then the pandemic hit in 2020. Trying to make the story pretty short. The pandemic hit in 2020. I started pushing my content, and now we're here today. Yeah.
So you weren't that far from me. You're in Alcorn, just south of Vicksburg, right?
Yeah, we were in Louisiana a lot. I was in Vicksburg. Yeah,
Yeah. So
close
I'm
to
I'm an hour from
Vicksburg.
Vicksburg.
So you know about Vicksburg?
I'm an
Okay.
hour from Vicksburg.
Oh, you're an hour from what part of Louisiana?
Monroe.
Oh, wow. Oh, Monroe, you're right there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the Vicksburg, the Walmart, we used to go to that Walmart all the
Oh
time. There's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
we're right there. We had to
Uh-huh.
travel like 40 minutes just to get to a Walmart. Couldn't get
Yep.
any ice cream or anything like that. So yeah, I went to school in Lower Mississippi. So you know about Alcorn then?
Yeah. So we last year we bought an RV park. You pass by it, Rose Campground, right there on 61. When you would come up the Natchez Trace, you would go up
Nat
north. Yeah. And right before you get into Walmart. So yeah, we have a RV park, about a 200 site RV park right there. So small world.
Oh, so you're in the sticks. I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I mean, I knew you were in Indiana, but I didn't know you were like right there on the
Yeah.
border.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
you
dope, man.
mentioned something to me in your story that I wanted to touch on when you were at Alcorn State and you really didn't have your mind right. You didn't have your mindset right like you do now. So tell us a little bit about that because how important is a mindset not only in business but just in life and fitness in general?
Man, mindset is everything. I always tell people before you could change your physical, you have to change your mental. You know what I'm saying? So you could have all the potential in the world, but if you can't use your mind, you're nothing. It
Yeah.
was the guy I've seen the greatest athletes not go to college, not go to the NFL, not because they weren't good. It's just because mentally they couldn't get there. So for me, I'm more impressed, even if I'm hiring somebody, I'm more impressed with someone who's mentally there than that person with all the talent in the world. Because if they can't listen, it doesn't mean anything at all. So I'd rather take like a military guy than somebody who just has all of the talent. And, they just, I mean, obviously, if they're 30, 40, 50 with all the talent, they haven't gotten there for a reason. And usually it is because their mental is just it's not there.
So how did you learn about it or how did you change your mindset from Alcorn to when you really started getting serious about your life? What did you read books or have a mentor or what?
I think I was young, and then number one, then number two is an excuse, right? But number two, I had FOM, fear of missing out. So I used to just like, all right. So I went to Alcorn State. It was a blessing, school, full ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just wasn't the biggest school. Like I was looking at my homeboy over here, my homeboy over there, or my teammate here. Alabama, you know what I'm saying? Like Clemson. Like I was around some guys who were playing good ball. And I think I more so was just like, yo, like I'm supposed to be a D1. Like I wasn't focused on what I had and what I was blessed with. So I kind of just had to learn the hard way. Like, okay, let me jump on this cycle over here, which is UCF. They didn't know who I was. They didn't recruit me. And it was a big thing. My uncle, which is like my pops, he definitely didn't want me to go. He didn't want me to go, but I kind of made a decision, and my mom, she was all for it. She's all for me just making my own decisions. So, I'd rather learn the hard way with my own decisions than learn through someone else's decisions, anyways. But more so, I was just focused on any and everyone else and other things rather than what I was blessed with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, so
Mhm.
you mentioned whenever you started at LA Fitness, you started training, like within a month, you became one of the top salespeople. So was that something that was a learned skill that you did, or was that something that you just got like on the job training there at LA Fitness?
So I didn't have any experience with sales at all. You know what I'm saying? I worked at Abercrombie and Fitch, hardworking jobs. I was moving furniture before that. I didn't have to sell. I just had to represent myself to, just be able to get like the money that I wanted. So I
Mhm.
knew how to do that. And I was very competitive. I played football growing up. That's my background. And it was a guy named Ron. I mean, I text him every quarter just because this dude he really changed my life. You know what I'm saying? He taught me sales. He taught me how to just have a fire and passion behind helping people. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not selling cars. I'm selling people on why they need a trainer, why they need a coach, and how this could change their life. So he kind of sparked that interest in, what I'm doing today. So that's my guy. But yeah, I didn't have any experience at all. I picked up on it quick. And honestly, at first, I thought I sucked, but Ron was hyping me up a lot. Of course, I looked the part, so that kind of helped me. But at
Yeah.
first, I was nervous and I was not good at all. You know what I'm saying? But I got promoted to like the personal training director, which is the management of the facility within like 3 months.
Okay. So you were selling like personal training services? Is that what you were selling?
Yeah, pretty much. So basically, you would come in for a $30 membership. Like, hey, I'm just looking at the memberships. I'm thinking about signing up. Okay, then from there, they sign up. They see me. So it's like, hey, you get a free. I'm sure everybody has been through it. You get a free workout session with Ashton Hall. He's going to walk you through a workout. Then he's going to show you what our training is about. So these are people who are not really expecting to come in and pay, anywhere from $200 to $600 a month. Um, but usually, after they have that good workout, I kind of compare it to, how is this usually doing on your own? And they're kind of like, okay, I might need training. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's how it went.
So
Mhm.
so how long did you work there before you kind of branched out on your own?
I was there for a solid year. I was there
Okay.
for a solid year. The pandemic hit, I would say, like it was January 2020, I think, or maybe the night or 2019, something like that. We had to take like 3 months off. They fired us because the gym's closed.
Okay.
During that window, I was like 2 weeks off and I wasn't working out. We didn't have access to the gym. I was getting like a little fat and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I got to start working out. So I started getting real creative with my workouts. And then I was like, yeah, I might as well just start like an online training program since we probably won't go back to work anytime soon. So I just started building out this home workout training program that I built when I first started, and I started posting pictures, posting the workouts online. It started getting a lot of traction. So we got invited back to work within like 3 months. I had like 70K at the time, 70K followers on IG. So it's kind of blowing up and became this thing. They didn't want me to do it anymore because people were noticing me in the club. I say the club, but the fitness facility, and they said close it down or you're fired, and I just quit. You know, yeah,
So you were just posting videos of you working out at home or in your outside?
yeah. I would be outside. I would have these crazy outfits on. I would have like 10-pound dumbbells, 20-pound dumbbells, and I would do a lot of hit training. So I was
Okay.
known for the hit training that I was doing, and man, it was fun. That was a time of my life. It was a time of my life.
So basically, and it's kind of funny because my son, I think I told you, he's a quarterback here at U, one of the quarterbacks here at ULM.
Oh,
And
okay.
so my son, his situation sounds very similar to yours, to where I was encouraging him to create content on what
Hmm.
he does best, quarterback skills. and he started getting a couple of clients, some of these local high school kids and junior high kids. And
Yeah.
what he didn't realize was all he has to do is post the content. It's not like, hey, come see me, come do this. It's just basically have somebody, gets one of his buddies out there, he's filming him, going through the footwork drills, going through the passing drills.
Mhm.
And what he didn't realize is now these kids are sharing it on their stories, and he's
Yeah.
just picking up client after client. And what so that's very similar to what you did. It's just like, growth like this, and all of a sudden, it starts to go up. So I think anybody in any business, any industry, kind of like what I've been doing is just basically taking what I've learned from real estate and just kind of, walking around a trailer park or RV park, and, we're getting ready to buy one, and here's what you look for, and this is how you can make money and this and that. And basically you're just providing value, like you were providing value to these people, that were locked up in the pandemic or whatever, how
Yeah.
to stay in shape. So you went from 70,000, then how quick did it go after that?
So it took us 16 months to reach 1 million followers.
That's
Yep.
amazing.
I reached 1 million followers in 16 months. I posted every single day for 16 months, every day at 12 p.m. to the point where people just knew not to call me around 12 p.m. Eastern, right? Because they know Ashton's busy and he's super serious about his post. They're coming up to me like, bro, I'm a big fan. And I'm just looking kind of like I'm still awkward about it because it's like, yo, we're the same people. I just film my stuff and push it out. So anybody
Right.
can do it. That's what life is. Life is problem solving. So
Right.
if you whatever you have, whatever you're the best at and you love the most, push it out. Anything on anything. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. And if you're helping people out, people are going to gravitate towards you. You know what I'm saying? And to the point where you could start your own business and, become financially free for sure.
So would you have just like a stand or something, and you would just film yourself like with your phone, or you had like actual camera equipment back then?
I would be a lie if I said I started by myself. So I did have a business partner. She helped me out. Her name is Ashley. She's dope. She actually does what she did for me for tons of other people still today. She's killing it. But yeah, it was me and her for like, man, we were going at it for like the first year and a half. Like she was filming me, she was editing all that other stuff, and it was kind of like my ideas that I would bounce off of her. So and then from there, I started filming my own videos. So now for like the last year and a half, because I've been doing this 3 years now, I film my own stuff. And I like it better that way now that I kind of know more about it, just because I feel more comfortable just being me. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm in the kitchen cooking something up, or if I'm vlogging, or, if I'm in the gym, it feels like less acting. I'm able to just be myself rather than just have like a videographer, which I probably will get into at some point.
And then you take, like, if you're filming in the gym or something now, you'll take that content and send it to like an editor or something.
No, I edit it myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
software
so
are
a
you
lot,
using?
yeah, it's bittersweet because I like to edit myself because I'm talking to my community. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I'm able to express what I want to express and push what I want to push to the people by cutting certain clips and stuff like that. I think it's best to start off like that. Unless you're doing like YouTube, YouTube is long format. You can just send it off to somebody. My YouTube videos, I have somebody else edit that. But if it's short form, it's 10 to 15 seconds. I'm doing that myself. And to scale eventually, like in the future, like if I want to just make more money and stuff like that, I should get somebody to do it for me so I can focus on other things. But it's my passion, bro. I really like the content. So I don't know if I'll let anybody get their hands on my baby.
So what are you using? Like, are you filming with your phone, or you have actual equipment in the gym?
So I film with a Sony, what is it called? Sony A7S III. So that's the camera I like to film with, and I put on a tripod.
Okay.
From there, I'll download it on Premiere. So Premiere is like they have Final Cut Pro, they have Premiere, they have all these different editing softwares. But anyways, I download it on there just to save it on my laptop. I send it to my computer. I mean, I send it to my phone, and I edit on Splice. Splice is similar to CapCut. So
Okay.
I do all my editing on my phone. It's pretty similar. But Splice I personally like a lot just because I've learned it. And CapCut is good too though. I just haven't tried it too much.
Yeah. Okay. So, with people out there, you know, especially like dentists and physicians, we're mentally taxed. We're working all the time, especially with dentists. It's very not only mentally taxing, but it's very physically taxing on your body because you're
Yeah.
always, turned in a position and you're always, a lot of carpal tunnel, shoulder, neck, back. So people, there's people out there that sit at desk all day long, in one position. So people that are busy, they're working 5 to 6 days a week, a lot of hours. They're in positions like that. What are maybe some steps that you would recommend, instead of just jumping into the gym 5 days a week, doing all this stuff, just to kind of gradually get them to be a little more active, a little more healthy, just on the exercise point. But we'll talk about nutrition in a minute, but let's just start with there. What are some things you'd recommend just to get going?
Well, first off, that's a workout. That's a workout in its own, right? So they're already working out with that.
Right.
That's their exercise. Am I telling them not to exercise? No, definitely get in there and work out, lift weights. It's going to help for sure. It's pretty obvious. But what I would definitely focus on is recovery. So are you eating? Are you going the whole day without eating while you're doing all this? You're going to be even more sore. You're not recovering at all. Are you only getting 4 to 5 hours of sleep at night? Of course, you're going to feel terrible, even if you weren't bending over. You know what I'm saying? Are you getting enough protein? Are you counting your macros? Stuff like this. So I would definitely focus on recovery before anything. You know what I'm saying? Ice bath, stuff like that. I would get into routine and literally, if if I'm being honest, I feel like that would solve all of it for the most part. You know what I'm saying? And then comes, exercising and stuff like that. If you don't have time to get into the gym, you can do it from home. Find you a 30-minute video of your favorite influencer online. Maybe they have dumbbells, maybe they're not doing anything at all. And you're just doing exercises to, strengthen your back, strengthen, your glutes, which are your glutes and your quads, which is going to help your back issues. So stuff like that.
Well, how important is stretching in your routines? Are you real big on that or?
Oh, stretching is huge. So stretching is another form of recovery. You know what I'm saying? I don't stretch because I just want to be super flexible. I stretch because I want to recover. You know what I'm saying? So I do my stretching after my workouts. So I'll do it essentially for like a cool down. So after I hit like a tough leg day, if I'm not being lazy, which I shouldn't be, right? Because some days, I mean, I'm human. Some days I'll just leave, but I'll feel it the next day.
Yeah,
So in a perfect day, in a perfect world, after my leg days, I'll do like 10 minutes on the treadmill, incline maybe like, 2.5 to 7.5. I'll do it slow, just chilling, just
yeah.
cooling my body down. Just like if you have an engine, you want to cool it down. You want to go from 0 to 100 and just stop. So I'm cooling my body down. From there, I'll do stretches afterwards because your body's going to be stiff. You're lifting all this heavy weight, you got this big pump, and you're
Yeah.
just more and more stiff. So I do my stretches, and that has a lot to do with, me still being able to run and jump and stuff like that, at this size.
And the same thing if somebody's doing like a upper body, like a push pull workout, you're recommended doing like cool down and stretches too.
Most definitely, especially if it's intense. But every day you want to get in the habit of, stretching, cooling down. So, I mean, there's like you want to get your steps in anyway. So whether it's outside, walk around for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, your treadmill, the worst thing you want to do is have a great workout session and literally just go home and go to sleep or just sit down and not do anything for a cool down. And it's even worse if you don't eat. So
Yeah.
right when you're done breaking down your body, you're not getting stronger in the gym. You're literally tearing down your muscle fibers. So right when you're done beating your body up, you have to be gentle to it. You got to treat it. You know what I'm saying?
You had mentioned sleep. How important is sleep just in everyday life?
Man, sleep is huge, even with brain function. You know what I'm saying? I didn't lock in a lot when I was in college and high school and stuff like that. And I think a lot of it had to do with sleep. I was trying to not go to sleep too much. I
Yeah.
didn't realize, I believe I was just good at 5 or 6 hours, but people are drinking all these energy drinks and only getting like 4 hours of sleep. They're working backwards. You know what I'm saying? So I would put sleep number one. There's one thing I don't negotiate is my sleep. I make sure I get
Yeah.
7, 8 hours every night.
Now, one thing my wife and I did last year, we ordered. I know there's different types, but it's one of those sleep pods or sleep pads where
Yeah.
we originally got. It's called eight, like the number eight. Um,
Mhm.
originally got it just because she likes her side warmer and I like my side colder. So you hook it up and it's just got these tubes and water and it circulates through. And then
Yeah.
there's an app where I can set my temperature. And what I didn't realize, it starts off cooler, but it tracks your REM sleep and all that. And as you go through the night, it'll adjust the temperature of the bed. And what I didn't, I just wanted to do it because I just want to cool off at night. That was it. But
Yeah.
I can tell it's crazy because I can tell if I wake up in the morning and I had a great night's sleep. So like last night here, I don't know if you can see this or not, but that's the app. So 91 is out of 100 is the sleep fitness score, which which is it's really good. But you can go through and see like uh
Oh, you can see how
oh
your sleep was?
yeah. So one night last week I got like a 98, and then I got a 62 one night because the dog was tossing and turning and keeping me up and so I mean it's crazy how it can tell you when you wake up and you go to sleep. So tracking that has really gotten me into like a routine.
Yeah.
And then when I started working with you with the macros. So talk a
Mhm.
little bit about how, because most people are like macros, I don't understand all that. So kind of walk people through like the basics of kind of what macros are, number one, and kind of a recommendation for people.
So the basics are pretty much you're just counting what you're putting in your body when it comes to carbs, fats, protein and overall calories. So that's the basic, right? And what I would tell, somebody who just feels super overwhelmed counting their calories or whatever, even though it only takes like another 5 to 10 minutes, really in real life. But I would say just focus on the protein. So whatever your goal weight is, let's say you're 180, but you want to be 160. So if your goal weight is 160, make sure you're taking it at least 160, 160 grams of protein. This is just off the top of my head without me giving them a structured plan. Could
Yeah.
change, but this is just the basis for the world. And then from there, the calories, you just want to track the calories. So I would say like if you're 180 looking to get to 160, stay around like 2,800 to like 3,500 calories. And just see how your body adapts. You know what I'm saying? Because some people just need more, some people need less, some people need more carbs, some people need less carbs. So you always just want to track and see how you're feeling at the end of the day. Like, did you have a lot of energy? Yeah, did you have a lot of energy? Did you feel strong, powerful, stuff like that?
So you hear a lot about intermittent fasting,
Hmm.
and some people are all about it, some people aren't. So what are your thoughts about it? Have you tried it before?
As far as fasting, like for a workout or just fasting in general?
No, like, some people will have like a window that they'll eat between 1 to 7 p.m. So they only have like a little, 6 or 7 hour window that they'll eat. And that,
There's a lot of controversy when it comes to it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? When I fast, I like to fast because I just like to be in control of, my mind. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to just be eating at 8 or, if I'm not feeling it, I'll just eat at 11. I like to do everything in routine. So if
yeah.
I'm fasting until 12 every single day. It's like, okay, I might be a little hungry, but I'm not going to eat right now. Like I control. And for me, it helps me stay on track with my diet. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Whereas if I'm just eating all over the place whenever I want to, I'm probably definitely not going to keep up with my macros. There's no structure, there's no routine. So I think fasting is good. Personally, when I do fast, I'll wait until about like 12 or 1 to eat my first meal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I always hear that
But it's to me, it's not a deal breaker. Some people do really good without fasting. Some people do great with fasting. I don't think it's a deal breaker. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. So, I've always been taught like you can only improve what you measure, because a lot of times people don't track their expenses or they don't track their money that they're coming in or they're investing. Well, when they do start doing it, oh crap, I'm spending 15 grand a month. I thought I was only spending 8. And then you
Yeah.
start paying attention to that. Just like in business, you start tracking your customers or your clients or patients. So once I started really focusing in on the area, everything is about health, wealth, and relationships. Those are the three main areas. And most people are focused on, a lot of times business people are on wealth, what's their, their income or expenses. But a lot of times people aren't tracking, with the health part of it, with working out or with macros and things like that. So for somebody that's completely new to this, what are some areas or what are some ways that you'd recommend that they just kind of get started with, maybe just getting more disciplined, start tracking, let's just say they want to lose like 15 or 20 pounds and
Mhm.
get in better shape. What would you recommend?
To track the calories, so the intake. You want to track your calories. If they can find like a little Fitbit or like an Apple Watch or something like that, you want to track what you're burning in a day, so calories in and out,
Hmm.
and then your protein intake. So I think it's very, very important to get your protein intake. Like I said, your goal weight roughly. So just stay around that, those three things. So you might say, how many calories do I need to eat? Well, everybody's different. So you might be 6'4", 260. You're definitely going to need more calories than somebody who's 5'10", 180. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the only way you can get better is if you're tracking. If you have something, okay, this is what I did for the last 2 weeks, and this is how much weight I lost. But if you're going high, low, you're not going to know what to correct. So if you can stay consistent at around 3,000 calories, 3,200 calories, you can learn what your maintenance is. Your maintenance is what you're going to eat to maintain, and you're going to learn what your deficit is, what you're going to eat when you want to lose weight. You know what I'm saying? But if you're going high, low, it's like, and you're going to the gym, you're literally just wasting time. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to the gym for a hobby at that point. So I would make sure that they're tracking. That's number one to me.
Yeah, and I've really known my health is starting to improve more since I started tracking, with the macros, getting more consistent with the workouts. I like having a plan instead of just going in the gym, going, what am I going to do today? It's, I've got the app that you provide with your coaching, and I've got the
Mhm.
workouts. I like the meal plans, and it's flexible. And then with the sleep too, tracking that, based on, hey, my goal is to get a 90, for my app to get like a 90 plus,
Mhm.
and I can tell the next day with brain fog and just
That's
being
big.
mentally alert. It is.
Yeah, you
And
got to get whatever that is. You got to send me the link.
yeah, I will, man. That's been a game changer for me. So but yeah, your journey from, I mean, you're just kind of nonchalantly talking about, you know, oh yeah, yeah, I was at LA Fitness and now I've got, what, 2.5 million Instagram followers. But it's really been impressive where you were just a few years ago, just starting out at LA Fitness to where you are now. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really amazing, and you're so humble about it.
Yeah, I think I'm able to stay humble just because, and it's bittersweet, because I'm really hard on myself. So some days I'm waking up, I'm like, yo, this is just, we're not there yet. We got to be
Yeah,
doing way better than what we are right now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm mixed between that and becoming more complacent and okay with who I am. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it comes from, I look at it and I look at like, my brother, I look at my siblings or, my cousins or whoever. And I always tell people, I would say that I personally would say that the 9 to 5 guy is more happy than the guy who is an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? He has more peace in his life than an entrepreneur because us entrepreneurs, like you make what you want, you stop when you want to, you know what I'm saying? Which is usually you want to do more, you want to do better. So pushing myself sometimes too hard. So that's my goal for 2024 to just like, take some vacations. I've only been out of the country once. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I'm pretty decent. So I got to take some vacations and get some downtime. But yeah, it happened pretty quick. 3 years, like 3.5 years ago, I was still trying to play football. You know what I'm saying? So and now we're here. We have like a team of 12 people. So it's doing really well. And glory to God. It's been fun.
yeah. So where can they follow you on Instagram?
So on Instagram, it's Ashton Hall official. All three platforms. Ashton, like Ashton Kutcher Hall, like a Hall of Fame, and then official like the referee.
Okay,
That's Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
got you. And what are
Yeah.
what are some of the things on those different platforms that you offer to people?
So to be honest, TikTok was something that I was discouraged with because I was like, man, I don't have time to post on all these platforms, right? And I
Uh,
don't want to be lazy and throw the same content on TikTok as IG. It just seems lazy to me. But that's what I do because a lot of people, they'll notice me, they'll see me, they'll say, man, I saw your videos on TikTok. And I'm like, dang, I haven't posted on TikTok in like 2 months. Let me start posting on TikTok again because I got people waiting on my post.
Yeah.
So just post like essentially like the same thing, unless it's a slide. I'll switch the edit up a little bit, throw it on TikTok, because the styles are a little bit different. It's like a younger crowd. So those are like short form workouts. And in YouTube Shorts, I do the same thing, but the long format videos, I'll post like pretty much like a vlog. It'll be me working out. There's a lot of hit training videos on there, and I'm eventually gonna do like a full out vlog, like Ashton outside of fitness type of ordeal. I might even start a new channel for that.
Yeah. And tell us about your coaching and different things that you offer.
Yeah, so I have coaching. Our coaching is freaking amazing. Super excited about that. So basically, with the coaching, we count your macros. You have a nutrition plan. You have workouts, and we walk you through what supplements and stuff you need to get. So we're holding your hand through the entire process. Then from there, my supplement company will be launching hopefully on the 26th. We pushed it back. We're like 30 days behind right now, so that's a bit frustrating, but it'll be coming out within the next 2 to 3 weeks, called Worthy Subs.
Nice.
Yeah.
And how long do they sign up for your coaching? Is it a monthly subscription or how does that work?
So basically, it's all different types of tiers. I have an app too called Burn and Build. That's a monthly subscription. It's like a lower ticket. It's
Hmm.
more cookie cutter, like one size fits all. But for the people who are very like looking for a strategic plan, like, yo, this is what I want. This is where I want to be. I'm looking to take my fitness to a level I've never been before. We have the one-on-one coaching. And we have all different type of plans. We have 3 months, 6 months, all the way up to a year. And yeah, that's what it is.
Awesome. Well, I've been enjoying it so far, so good with you and your coaches. So that's great. So guys, go follow him at Ashton Hall Official. I'll put the links below the video, and
Yeah.
we'll have to do this next year to see how many followers that you have and what you're going to be accomplishing in
We're gonna have to
2025.
do it. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it sooner than that. This is my first ever podcast. Ever
Really
podcast. Yeah, first time being interviewed or anything like that. And it was dope. It was dope. I definitely liked it.
excellent. Well,
Mhm.
I look forward to continue working with you and your crew, and we'll schedule something soon in the future.
Most definitely. I think we have a call at 4, right?
Yeah.
Where we're gonna hop on at 4. But man, it was definitely a pleasure. Thanks for having me.